Fascinating to see tactically how these two embrace in the opening exchanges, just to test out and see what's possible. Artemanova with the start. And the advance as well. She did such a good job sweeping up through the course of these games so far. Doesn't get much of the stardust, shall we say, that's thrown over some of these Russian attackers, but a very important part of the way that Russia work. England working hard to try and pull in defenders early on. Abby Brown to Heather Fisher, the two try scorers in that USA game. Combine effectively there.
Communication not quite there for England that time, was it? Heather Fisher thought she had support there, but didn't. Russia always very, very solid in the scrummage.
Pressure from Katie Mason in the opposite scrum half, but Russia having to reset their stall inside 10-metre line. Working Forestiak, now Artemanova. There's the real form player so far. Sova, but the break has come from Strakova. She scored 2 tries against England in that bronze medal match, and already she's on the board in this game.
Yeah, they didn't get even a touch on her, did they, Strakova? They're very imperious running from her. Russia get the ball out wide. The English defence trying to put pressure on, and already Natasha Brennan had been called for offside, but then Natasha Brennan just leaves her a little bit too much space. There's room to step inside, and they have so much pace and power, this Russian team. They have strike runners, real pace, genuinely all over the park. So if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Look at that long stride, poetry in motion.
Well, she certainly is a super striker. When you look at what she did in Dubai, 5 tries, but she scored vital tries against South Africa, vital tries in that quarter-final against Canada, as well as the brace against England. Oh, that could be an important 2 points it's gonna miss. As England have to rebuild from their own 22. What more? Talking about strikers, a real strike force in that first game, but really didn't get involved, didn't get the opportunity to be involved in the USA match. Spot opportunity. Abby Brown taking on the responsibility. Mason out to Fisher. Fisher trying to outrun Hamidova. Not the easiest of things. Hamidova 6 feet tall, the tallest player here at the tournament.
Yeah, we've not seen much of Hamidova in space, showing us her speed, but she really is fast. Very, very difficult to get around the outside of Hamidova.
We thought coming into this tournament, in the absence of Nadezhda Kudinova, it was going to be a struggle for the way that Russia played, but they don't seem to have missed, and Hamidova's return, of course, has added to that belief. Kicked away by Katie Mason, and that is just going to invite Russia to come back until they make an unforced error.
Yeah, it worked out well for England there. Kicking the ball to Russia, always very dangerous because they've got such strong runners. Give them the ball in a bit of space and you're often in trouble, but the knock-on just worked in England's favour there in their first real bit of attacking possession right up in Russia's half.
Mason releases the ball but doesn't find the target. They're going to come back for the call against Artemanova.
Here. Thank you.
Abby Brown, English captain, gets the offload into Fisher. Power play from Heather Fisher. So the breakdown is just very difficult for England to control. Now it's Natasha Brennan. Brennan going for the corner, and England on the board. Well, it paid off in the end. You wondered whether it was stuttering at various phases in that attack, but ultimately you've got to try scorer like Natasha Brennan. You utilise her, and that's what England have done. Yeah,
it wasn't particularly pretty, but they all count. Lauren Cattell carries the ball. Natasha Brennan gets a sniff at the try line. She knows that she can get around the outside, puts her foot on the pedal just enough to get round Strakova. Brings England right back into it.
Well, a timely score for England. Natasha Brennan, who's, again, we talk about Dubai as a reference point and what an impact she had. Made so many carries, so many line breaks, scored half a dozen tries to boot. Second in the performance tracker that we've utilised, you've seen on your screens at various points through today. Of course, on top of that particular log was Elena Mikhaltsova, the Russian number 4, who again is in prime form, as we've already seen. England losing the contest on the floor. That's good work from Russia. Artemanova speeds it away. And there's the try scorer, Strakova, revving the engine, and suddenly there's nobody in front of her. Pacing away. What an impressive sight she is in full flight. 2 tries in December, 2 tries in February. Elena Strakova is the bane of the England side right now.
Yeah, real pace she has. Millie Wood knew that she was struggling when she looked up and saw Strakova there. And Wood and Cattell, the 2 last English defenders, a little bit inexperienced working together. She needed to push Strakova to Cattell. Cattell didn't come across far enough, leaving Strakova loads of space to finish off.
Such a potent threat whenever she's given the opportunity. 19 tries she ran in last season. Already living it up this season, and it's Russia who have their noses in front of the break. Those 2 tries giving them a 10-5 lead.
Channels, just back yourself. Just go. Run right, because you're not defense is pretty good. You just got to keep our shape, push them from the outside. They do that, fine, I can live with that. Don't let them back in on the 1 and 2. Okay? They score, that's what we'll have to do around the outside. Okay? There's nothing in the game. Get hold of the ball again. Just go. Back yourself. Give it 7 minutes, okay?
James Bailey trying to install in his team the belief of what they're going to do, being proactive with their work rather than having to react to the way that Russia are able to counter-attack almost at will. Psychologically, this match in the balance, but with Russia's form coming into this, they would believe that they can stretch on now.
Yeah, you'd certainly think Russia, given the history of Dubai and given the form so far today, will be believing that they've got this one, that they can get the win. James Bailey telling England, push Russia onto the outside, don't let them through the middle. And when you get the ball on the outside, when you're carrying, just go for it. Stretch this Russian defence, test them out.
I have to confess that I couldn't understand what Andre Kuzan was telling his charges, but I'm sure that he will have been relatively satisfied with their execution of opportunity, especially when they get the ball out to that lady there. Strakova with the brace in the first half. Estiak again with a lovely willowy run. We saw it, we've seen it in previous games now. Out to Hamova. Hamedova just working away around the flanks, really. That was almost too easy. It was such a natural, almost gallop around the fringes.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's going that fast, Hamidova, but she is. It's that long stride length. Joanne Watmore has one go at the tackle, but just goes a little bit too high. So Hamidova, with that upper body strength, able to hand her off. The tackle needed to be lower. It needed to be round the waist, round the hip. And Hamidova, we've seen it in the past, has a lot of pace. So they were never going to catch her after she'd got past the first tackle.
Hamidova, who missed Dubai, but now coming back with some impact. Just getting her engines revved up, really. But there's the try-scoring log, and you can see how effective this Russia attack has been in the course of the 2.5 games that they've played in. Cattell to Brennan. Good handling skills from Heather Fisher. Play call from the referee will give England a chance to go again. Abby Brown quick to take that opportunity, quick to fire up this England attack. Little lateral from Brennan at the moment, waiting for somebody to cut back off her. Russia happy to hold their opponents out on halfway, setting their stall out.
Offside.
Yeah, it's a real cliche, but you have to let the ball do the work. At the moment, England players carrying the ball sideways, trying to take the ball to where they want it to go to. Play the ball through the hands, it'll get there much faster. You challenge the defence much harder.
No rush from a Russian perspective, understandably, as Prestiak looks to try and open the door for Seredina. Couple of handoffs, and Christina Seredina heading towards market. Heather Fisher competing well at the breakdown and saving England's bacon on that occasion.
Excellent work from the experienced Heather Fisher.
Okay.
England falling off far too many tackles at the moment.
Third game of the day, and it is a very hot day, very humid. The sun hasn't been particularly blatant, but the conditions taking some getting used to for both teams, it has to be said. Both in their winter conditions at home. And what's the call here?
What number? Sorry. What's the number? 11. Stop.
I think the referee called a forward pass.
Wait. Here.
To allow James Bailey to make some changes to the England lineup.
Time back on. From
Katie Mason being replaced by Farron Matthews as Seredina and Strakova just catch their breath. Looking at the short side, Petrova, the captain, Marina Petrova, puts this tie to bed with 3 minutes still left on the clock. Russia are going to hold on to their unbeaten record, and in some style.
Yeah, it's excellent play from Russia. Very, very dominant, very, very powerful. England, on the other hand, starting to lose their shape because they're coming under pressure. They're starting to not play the game plan, to come out of shape in defence, to carry the ball rather than pass the ball across the pitch, and leaving space for players like Marina Petrova. James Bailey on the sideline be willing his players just stick to the game plan, keep your shape. In sevens, you've got to let the shape of the team do the work. It's such a large amount of pitch to cover. Any one individual player can't do it themselves.
Much as England are looking at defeat, and Russia, of course, can now start thinking about that cup quarter-final in good stead. That points difference is going to be critical for England if they're going to pick up one of the 2 third-place playoff places that go into the cup quarters tomorrow.
Exactly right.
2 minutes left to make a difference to that particular equation. Kelly Smith feeds back, and England have to go from deep. Matthews. Miel has come on for Heather Fisher. Deputy, of course, Abby Brown has got to inspire her team somehow.
Yeah, Abby Brown seems to be at the centre of everything for England, doesn't she?
Well, it's all a learning curve for everybody, Abby Brown included, of course, but they've got to learn quickly. They've got to effect some form of response here, trying to get Jo Watmore into the game. And really, when you consider that first game against Spain and how influential she was, England have not been able to manipulate position for her in the following couple of games. Watmore asked to go downtown, down the middle, and really having no way through. Haven't seen an awful lot of Elena Mikhaltsova in this game either, and she has been the top try scorer so far this weekend. Fran Matthews trying to spark something in the last 30 seconds of this game. Abby Brown gets the call. England trying to keep it alive. Kelly Smith and Tasha Brennan, but there's the big hit coming in from Perestiak, and suddenly it's Petrova again, striding away. No, I beg her pardon, it's Ryashina. Nikolina Ryashina is going to add the coup de grace to Russia's victory, and it could be a knife in the back for England's hopes of a cup quarter-final slot tomorrow.
Yeah, that points difference is pretty significant now, and the points difference will make all the difference when it comes to those quarter-final spots. But England, brilliant finish from Ryashina there, great running. England completely lost their shape at the end there, though. James Bailey telling them to go wide, really take them on out